All right, today we're going to be looking at a science fiction topic. So this is a topic that, of course, could be misconstrued to be a violation of censorship policy. So if you would like to hear this whole interview uncensored, I invite you to click the link below in the description and go over to a place where you're actually free to express yourself and free to be an adult to choose to hear something or to not hear something, to take responsibility. So I'll see you on the other side. All right, today I'm going to be deviating from the aircrete subject. We're going to be presenting a science fiction topic. And if we look at the words, specifically the etymology of science, then just perhaps we're actually folding some known truth into something. And today's topic is how exactly COVID-19 vaccines are like vampires. So this is Christina.
Hello, I'm Christina.
And we're just going to keep this as a casual chat and keep your ears perked. And so I guess, Christina, the first thing that comes to mind is, of course, that vampires can only enter your home to consume you and kill you if you invite them into your home, right?
Yeah, you see so many different legends, but the main thing is that they do have to have permission to enter your home, just like or practically any other. They have to have permission. They can't just walk in there, but they always use tactics, whether it's or even in movies, vampires. They have to use a tactic because to get your permission. Even when you're trying not to give your permission, they'll use at least 3 things.
Okay, so what are those 3 things that someone or a vampire specifically might use to get your permission to enter not even your home, but since this topic is how is it like your first home, this? What are some of the, what do those tactics look like?
Well, generally, it's the first main one would be compulsion, which is basically using deception to convince somebody to do something they want them to do.
Right. So, you know, right now, up until January, for the next few months, you're going to be seeing a lot of compulsion, a lot of pressure coming on. You're going to have the fudged up dog association, if they granting a appearance of an approval but not a real approval. So they're going to be trying to coerce people to believe in something more, perhaps even pushing that so far as to say you can't be employed and therefore you can't have a house and therefore you can't live if you haven't accepted the vampire into your home.
The second option, which is in some ways similar to the first one, is they use fear or guilt to make people feel guilty about not letting them in. In cases of movies, it's cold outside, let me in. Whereas if it was in this case, it's you are going to hurt somebody else. You're going to hurt all of our society because you don't take a...
So they could be using fear and guilt, and that's the fear of the unknown, right? Usually whatever, you know, fear is false, imaginations appearing real or something like that. And fear is what's going to be getting ramped up over the next few months until January, because from January through March, those next 5 months could be quite extra scary, as it appears that you know, people are dying of cooties when in fact it's who may be dying. So what's the other tactic that they might?
The third option is they like to, because they can't enter without permission, they will then try to get permission without your permission.
Okay, how do they do that?
Generally, it's let's say, for example, it's your home. They will try to purchase your home, which sometimes it can be land or whatever, if it's the case of an actual thing. But they will purchase it, and therefore, because they own it, even if you don't want them to, they can enter because they now own it.
Okay. So, like a mortgage, if you don't own your home, a mortgage, by the way, is a death pledge or a contract to death. They might coerce you through taking ownership. You know, someone like BlackRock buying the mortgage of your home, and if you'll just consent, you can live there and not have to leave because they will now own it. That's very clever and deceptive.
It's what vampires do. They use deception to hide in the dark and to literally achieve what they want through that. They have no other way of doing it.